Sleepwalkers. I used to think sleepwalking was normal. I heard it's some genetic trait bad sleepers pass down, but it never bothered me. I always woke up with a mind as fresh as a daisy. Not even my dreams carried over into the next day. But sometimes I'd wake up with glimpses of dreams, little flashes of a fake reality my brain would conjure in the night. They didn't stick around for good reason. They always had a nauseating quality, like being at school after hours or a fast food restaurant on a road trip. Lately, these glimpses have been close to home. Since Dad got laid off, things have been tense. Mom stresses about the grocery bill, my sister's tuition, even dog food. They try to hide it, but my mom's never been good at faking a smile. I dream of her face, blank but smiling. The stress still shows in her eyes, like she's fighting or in denial or something else. I'd be lying if I said it hasn't kept me up. A week ago, ambulances shows up at the neighbor's house. I had stayed with Ms. Sturgis the day before because Dad left town for an interview. She let me drink wine with her and stay up watching game shows. When Mom found out, there were words. I could hear it from my bedroom. And then Ms. Sturgis was gone. I heard from school she had choked on her dinner and wasn't found until the morning. But even I had glimpses of her face, pale, puffy, and her eyes popping out like a squeeze toy. Nevertheless, we moved on, but her face and flashes of others began to stick around. It wasn't them keeping me up, but myself and a growing restlessness. But I didn't want to add to the stress at home. It took a visual toll, and I was scared it would show on my face too. So I stopped by the gas station for a few monsters after school to pull an all-nighter. I figured it would be a good chance to study anyways. I snuck upstairs to chug one can at 8 o'clock and another at 9 o'clock, right before Mom tucked me in for bed. She closed the blinds as usual and turned off every light in the house. We had to be frugal with the electricity now anyways. By 11 o'clock, my head was pounding. I felt like running laps, but also like passing out. I was a great sleeper, so my body was fighting me, but I needed a reprieve, badly. By 12 o'clock, my door creaked open. I threw my books off my bed as my father stood in the doorway, looking down on me but not making eye contact. His silhouette unnerved me, and he did not speak, but something about the way he was standing told me to get out of bed. I quietly undid my covers and shakily walked towards him. We turned down the hallway to my sister's room, where my mom was waiting in the doorway, my sister Anna standing behind her. They filed in a single line down the stairs with me at the back. I felt like asking what we were doing. A midnight family walk? Another emergency? Was someone in trouble? But they hardly seemed to acknowledge each other, let alone me. It felt routine. It felt primal. We exited the front door and took a right on the sidewalk, 2 by 2, making fast strides east towards Arcadia. It wasn't until we got to the nice neighborhood that the streetlights cast a glow on us, illuminating our strange midnight walk. When I looked up at my father next to me, I missed a step. My stomach had sunk to my feet and the shaking intensified. His eyes, usually covering a smirk or disappointment, looked vacant. Pupils rolled to the back, a river of veins flowing from underneath. Was he in my dreams? Am I dreaming? But I followed and didn't ask questions. My mom and Anna behind us, I didn't want to make anyone upset or worried, but I was. We approached a large Cape Cod-style house with impressive windows and 2 white SUVs out front. I barely had time to notice the house number or even the street name before we were at the side door. Anna pulled out a nail filer and silently cut the screen door, so expertly it looked like she had practice. Followed by my mom, me, and my dad, we were inside. A quick left brought up to an equally impressive staircase, lined with framed photographs of a gorgeous couple. We quickly ascended, not breaking pace, but my fears gained traction. At the end of the hallway, a bed framed a massive master bedroom, with the couple resting soundly in the middle. In seconds, my family surrounded the bed, my mom and dad immediately brandishing knives, and began to plunge. Over and over, their hands rose and fell in unison, my sister climbing on the headboard with hands over their mouths to cover screams. Thankfully, some escaped, because at this point I had begun to whimper. My entire body was buzzing as I stood watching sheets run red. Their eyes never focused, but their movements remained precise. And then it was over. I'm not sure I could have stopped any of it. There was a foreign sense of calculation to the atrocity, but primitive in the execution. Like if I stepped in, I would have received the blade myself. It wasn't until we returned home that I saw a lone knife sitting on the kitchen table. Seemingly meant for me, it was familiar. It was the one I was regularly tasked to sharpen. The following morning was worse. My caffeine overdose and unwilling cooperation made my stomach shrink to nothingness. It felt like nothing was inside me but anxiety and hate. I hate my family. Their faces as if nothing happened the night before. Their smiles masking what I could only assume be a record of cruelty. The guilt I felt for just playing along. I didn't have a moment to even consider confronting them before I was at school again, fighting to stay awake in class. My mind spun with questions. What would even happen if I told someone? Would they believe me? Surely I would go to jail too, and my parents were under enough stress already. Is that what it was about? Before almost falling out of my desk, my math teacher sent me to the nurse, who cleared me for exhaustion and anxiety. It goes unsaid sometimes that things might be going on at home, and they would be more than correct. Instead, I was allowed to rot in the computer lab for my last 2 periods. I took this time to look up the murder cases in my town, coming up on a few suspicious articles of home break-ins, including Ms. Sturgis's alleged choking. It read ongoing investigation, although my parents told me otherwise. I felt nauseous again. A banner popped up on the town newsletter, another murder, beloved founder and CEO of Wenco, and his wife found brutally murdered in their beds last night, stabbed 104 times. Investigation has already started. The man who laid off my father. Before I could throw up on the computers, I snuck out the back gymnasium exit and threw up on a bed of flowers. I could run home from here, or to the police station, or the gas station, to get a Gatorade and calm my nerves. I began to run like something was chasing me. Either the fear or guilt or hate seemed to step on my heels as I ran. I chugged my Gatorade next to a phone outside until I remembered Grandma, and she used to talk about sleepwalking. It replaced our bedtime stories, talking about how normal it was and how it was nothing to fear. It seemed to be her favorite thing, and she only hoped her grandkids wouldn't fight it like their grandpa did, especially before his accident. I popped 2 quarters in the rusted outdoor call box, and the tone rang for a few seconds before, "Hello, this is Mrs. Stetter speaking. Who is this?" "Hi, Grandma, it's Andrew." "Hi, baby. How is my favorite grandson? Studies going well?" "Yes, Grandma, my grades are perfect, but I need to talk to you. Last night, dash." "Did you sleep okay?" She jumped to ask. Number something, like really bad, happened. "Can I see you tonight?" Her tone switched. "Young man, listen to me now. Whatever you've seen, you need to sleep on it." "No, I'm not sleeping anymore. Can I stay with you for just one night?" I began to plead. The line froze for a minute before she cleared her throat. Her tone voice now commanded, "You come from a long line of half-wits, you being the exception. Have you noticed that? Do you wonder why your sister is in a special school and your dad cannot hold a job? This thing is genetic, yes, but it is self-preservation. How do you think we've survived this long? If you rat, you will be ruining the one chance you have to be a successful stetter." And the call dropped. Do I run away? Do I turn only myself in? Do I ruin my family and my future? My hands are tied. Did we kill that couple? Did we kill before? Did we kill Grandpa? On my walk home, I retraced every glimpse of every dream I've had. Faces in fear, pale bodies and eyes glazed over. My parents' eyes vacant of life. Even my sisters. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Surely they know what they're doing. Grandma does. Surely there is a way to stop it. I get home at the same time school would have ended. My parents ask no questions. My sister is getting help with homework at the kitchen table. My dad craning over his laptop, furiously typing. Things seem normal, but now I know I'm not. I sit on the edge of my bed cursing the damn thing. Cursing all of them. My brain is storming with loathing, fear, faces, names, flashes, swinging, stabbing, questions. Do we kill who we hate? Do I? Before I can latch onto a single thought, my head hits the pillow. Out of the corner of my eye, my mother in the doorframe stands crying. She thinks I'm already asleep, but I can hear her say, "I'm so sorry, Andy." And then everything goes black. I wake up in the morning feeling lighter. My blanket feels wet, probably from crying, but the hatred, questions, and flashes don't linger. My stomach has twisted itself back into shape, and my eyes can finally focus. I feel okay. Why do I feel okay? I rush downstairs and a quiet hum comes from the kitchen. My family sits at the table like yesterday, heads cocked in the air like things are light for them now too. I circle the table and pull out my chair, leaving blood marks on the cushion. I'm dripping in blood, and I look up at my family, who have large slits on their jugulars. I pour myself cereal and eat with them, happy we can be happy together, happy to say we are all well rested.